Yeah, bravo, Kryle bitch. You want a race with zero fucking competition. Awesome. Fucking awesome. It's another race. Jimmy Johnson should have finished above the top 5 or even in the top 10, no less, in another race that Jimmy Johnson did not end up finishing there. But the only difference is I saw it coming this time, because when he was at least in 4th place with around I don't know, what was it, 60, 48 to go, and was still hanging on with 10 to go, I'm like, yeah, there is literally no way he's gonna thrive at this point. He really isn't gonna thrive this madness of a race. And Lord behold, he didn't. He fucking didn't thrive. So, this is the kind of year it's gonna be. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you expecting something new? So was I. We do not need to go into deep analysis of what their outcome is going to be, because it's just going to be the same tedious shit as the Xfinity race from Michigan last year. Get this package far, far away from not only NASCAR, but away from Formula One, away from IndyCar, away from Grand Am, away from World of Outlaw, away from ARCA, away from any form of racing ever. One time, all I ask for this to be different. This season sucks. It's the same old fucking bullshit every goddamn week. I know exactly why you're fucking here. Because NASCAR, the driving development has been officially rendered meaningless. Because all of a sudden, winning races against lower tier drivers, lower tier equipment, makes you the best driver in NASCAR history. You know Harry Scott Motorsports? You know Red Horse Racing? Oh yeah, those teams don't even fucking exist anymore. Wanna know why? Cup leeches. Fucking cup leeches, and the king of cup leeches just made himself at the supposed top of the fucking list of NASCAR national wins, supposedly tying Richard Petty. Oh, you think his 200 wins should be justified? Then how come we're not justifying Tony Stewart as a 4-time champion because of his one championship in the IndyCar series? Why aren't we saying that Dario Franchitti is better than Mark Martin? Because based on Dario's 4 championships. Never mind that Dario's skill was objectively shit in the NASCAR series. That he can't drive a stock car for shit at all. If fucking wins in the national series overall, ranging from trucks, Xfinity to Cup, should be justified, then how come we aren't justifying overall racing? Hell, why aren't we saying that John Force's 17 championships, I don't know if it's 17, 18, or what not, should be justified? If those wins in the lower tier series should be justified, then those championships should be justified. Hello? Do you know where I'm getting at? Is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. better than Mark Martin based on Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s 2 championships in the Xfinity series? Never mind that all Ricky Stenhouse does anymore is wreck at least 25% of the field, mostly at the fucking speedway races, Daytona, Talladega, where I even had to witness this horse shit. Oh yeah. Congratulations, Kyle Busch. You made driving development completely meaningless by leeching off the money and exposure from the younger guys in the Xfinity series and Truck series, having all the cameras and media attention on you. All because you wanted to have it easy at that 200 win mark. You know, guys, The people that annoy me more than Kyle Busch himself are the fans that praise him better than Richard Petty, which is outright ridiculous. You know what? Kyle Busch, which I will give him credit for, he even said himself that his 200 win mark should not be compared to Richard Petty. That tells you something right there. It's just something that he wanted to do. You know what? Good for him. Whatever. But can you please shut the fuck up about the comparison to Petty? It's irrelevant. God fucking damn it. Holy Christ. I cannot express enough how fucking exasperated I am over these hyperactive morons that say that he's the next king. Oh, he leached off of every lower tier driver from the lower series. Oh my god, best driver ever. Oh my gosh. This Kyle Busch should teach those rookies how to race and how to be competitive. Oh yeah, that rookie you see right there, fucking Matt Tifft, Brandon fucking Jones, and Daniel Hemrick, even though he's now in Cup, Justin Allgaier, David Starr, oh yeah, 6 laps down. Oh, I'm learning so much about how to be competitive. Oh yeah, fucking bullshit. You know what? Richard, you can say all you want that Richard Petty had won as the quantity of races season in, season out were double the amount of races of yearly races, which are 36. But you at the same time overlook the fact that Richard Petty had twice as many opponents in his days of racing. Especially when he had competitors like Cale Yarrow, David Pearson, Benny Parsons, and so on in his rearview mirror day in, day out. So the whole, they didn't have as much competition back then is ridiculous and preposterous. Get your head out of your fucking ass. Kyle Busch himself says that his 200 win mark is not comparable to Richard Petty. So if even Kyle Busch himself says that, you should too. His 200 win mark, not justified. If we're really gonna count overall wins, why aren't we counting overall championships? After all, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the brain-dead buffoon that has a specialty for wrecking himself and wrecking half the field week in and week out, is supposedly better than Bill Elliott, who was the first driver to won $1 million, despite the fact that Bill Elliott only has one championship. God damn you. I hemorrhage brain cells every time I look at these hyperactive morons. That fucking, he is not compatible with Richard Petty. Get it through your thick skull. Jesus fucking Christ. Kyle Busch, you are the bane of my life. Good fucking God. Oh my boy, you do not deserve that 2015 championship in the first place, might I add, either. But to be fair, you did deserve the 2018 championship, which was another example of a silver platter championship. Towards Logano, at least. Even though that was the first time he ever won a championship. I'm struggling to... You know how in this video game called Gran Turismo, you race as a Toyota GT1 in the campaign, and then you drive in the Sunday Cup in the Beginners League? That's exactly what Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, etc., etc., etc. are doing. Taking away money and exposure that these rookies in the lower tier series are trying to make for themselves. They're trying to have a future for themselves in the fucking NASCAR organization, and their exposure gets stolen by all these cup drivers, making the lower tier series Cup Series 2.0 or 3.0. Ugh! And using the Cup pit crew? Oh yeah, that's so impressive! Using a Cup pit crew against a shit tier, against the rest of the field using shit tier equipment. Oh my lord. Just no. Unacceptable. Ridiculous. Abhorrent. This is about as ridiculous as it can get. If this is how we're gonna define a legend, then I'm not even interested in career wins anymore. It was already enough that Brian France already took away the meaning of the championship title back in 2014 when he introduced the most ludicrous chase format of all time. It was already ridiculous enough that these cup drivers made the lower tier series into Cup Series 2.0 or 3.0. But then, of course, you get to this year where talent is completely dismantled. There is no such thing as talent in NASCAR anymore. It has completely vanished. Ever since the start of this season, it's been vacant. This fucking NASCAR has been completely void of talent ever since the initialization of this season. No longer is this sport about talent anymore. It's all about going after the greens. They made the championship prestige meaningless. Now they made all but the 1 mile short tracks and road courses meaningless to win now. Oh, but the fact that Kyle Busch's 200 wins should not be justified just because he raced against lower tier cars. Get that shit out of here. It should be justified in one league and one league only. He is at win number 53 overall in Cup, where Richard Petty participated in. Not lower series. Lower series didn't even exist back in Richard Petty's day, but the point still stands. There's a reason why we even say X driver is tied with Dale Earnhardt's, such as Jeff Gordon back in 2007, Jimmy Johnson back in 2016, when they reached win number 76, I don't even remember how many lower series wins Dale Earnhardt won, so I think I have used up all my energy I could have for this video, because this has been one of the most abhorrent, subpar races I have ever watched in my entire life. If you thought last year was the doomsday season for me, if you thought last season was the worst season ever, this season gives last season a run to be even a fucking trillionaire. I'm no more. Fuck this shit.